Hi there, this is Marguerite Martinez, just putting together a tutorial for the outdoor sound system so that you guys can know what to do. So this is our EMX 2000 powered mixer. How this is different from the mixer in the Sanctuary is that it actually has power. Our Sanctuary mixer actually gets powered by the amplifier. Those two big black things in the Sanctuary, and that's what powers everything. So the mixer itself is not powered. This one's different because it's all in one. So this machine actually sends power to the speakers, and it's pretty awesome. So anyway, what you do when you get started is we're going to figure out our speaker situation. So what we have here, you see the two silver speaker plugs are both in the right speaker side. And then in that left speaker side, we have our monitor. I'm going to show you guys where this is indicated. So here we are on the soundboard, zooming on in. These switches right here. So we have stereo left, stereo right. If all we have are the two switches. What we want it on is Mon 1 and mono. So the mono is left and right together. So it's not a true stereo sound, but that's what we got to do. And then Mon 1 is the monitor. And so this is the speaker that's going to be facing the music group so that they can hear one another, especially in an outdoor setting, and be able to adjust sound and whatnot. Here's some things to note about adjusting volume. On these levels, see these little meters, says plus 18 to plus 4, and then plus 18 to plus 4 for left and right. The way that we're setting up the sound, the left gauge would be for the monitor, and the right gauge would be for the left and right speakers, which are in mono. So these are hard to adjust, which is done on purpose, so they won't get jostled. If you use a very small flathead screwdriver, these can be adjusted, but this is actually to change the volume level of each part. So the left one would be for the monitor, and the right one would be for the left and right main speakers. The limiter that you see above these two gauges has two red lights, one above each of these gauges. If these illuminate, that means you have too much power and volume going through the system, so it needs to be turned down. When in doubt, just don't touch it. Moving on, we've got multiple mic inputs in here. So we've got a number of these, so this will be, I think, really effective for Mouse on the Grass as well. So we've got your microphone. So let's go ahead and plug one in. It's always good to plug things in without the power on, particularly like the speakers. So actually, let's walk over to these speakers so you can see what we did. So we've got these two beautiful Yamaha speakers, and these things actually fit on pedestals, like these tripod things. So these are the ones that y'all are going to want to take with you. On the back of each of these speakers, you'll actually see two different inputs. And the reason for this is that you can actually daisy chain the power, but the better way to do it is actually directly from the mixer. So ideally, don't use that second input-output. And you see the speaker cord. This is a very high quality one, so make sure you use the right kind. Speaker and guitar cords actually are very similar in the fact that they can plug into the same things, but they are very different. Speaker wires actually carry power, so you certainly don't want to plug a speaker wire into a guitar because that could end very badly. So we've got the second speaker, same thing. So these are the regular left-right speakers that are in the mono channel. Okay, then we come over here. This is a lovely little monitor. And so we have the same situation with the plugs. So we just plug into one of the inputs, okay? And that will be our monitor sound. I know I've got a lot of other speakers out here, but we're just testing them out. Getting back to sound on individual channels. So we have a microphone plugged into channel 1. And to control what is going to come through those main left and right speakers for that individual channel, we adjust our slider right here for the volume, okay? The other thing that we need to do is adjust the main slider volume, and this controls the overall volume of the left-right speakers. If all we do is one of these, we're not going to have any sound. So we'll pump this thing up, check, check, and then we can adjust the level of this one. Make it louder, make it softer. If we have it all the way down, nothing is going to come through. Also, if I turn down the volume on the channel itself and turn up the speaker, check, 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 nothing's coming through. So you can see that. The other way that we have sound, so I've got everything turned down, is through the monitor. This is I guess, run two different ways, which are really important to notice. We have Mon 1 on each channel, so that Mon 1. And so this little knob is going to control how much volume from that individual channel is going to come through the monitor, which is the speaker for the musicians and singers. So not only do you have to adjust that one for each channel, you actually have to come over here to switch this as Mon 1 and turn this up as well, or else you will not have sound either. So check, check, check. This is just through the monitor. The main speakers are actually not on right now because the main volume is down. So if I turn this off, check, check, nothing's coming through. So check, check, check. Now if I come over here and I turn this volume all the way down, check, 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 nothing's coming through. So just think about with this particular mixer that you've got to have both the main for each channel and the main adjusted, and you also have to have Mon 1 and Mon 1 to have sound come through. So those are some troubleshooting areas. This is our Yamaha electric keyboard, and this is what we use to go on the road. So I'm going to show you guys how to hook it up. Here we are, and this is the AC input right there. So that plugs into the wall. So that's like pretty simple. Then we have our pedals for our pedal input. We only have one pedal, and so we plug that into the sustain. So our pedal's right down there, sustain, and the pedal does have a tendency to slip, so that's why that's down there. Electric piano to our mixer for outdoor sound or portable sound. There are a couple of ways to do it. There are actually 3 ways to do it, but the best 2 ways to do it are either use microphone cables, and that would mean over on the back of the keyboard, you'll see microphone cable outputs, and you could just put it in the mono, and then you would choose one of the microphone channels. The downside of this is that then you are losing a microphone channel that could potentially be used for a singer or a reflection speaker, a priest, what have you. So the best way to do it is actually through an instrument cable. This is a guitar cable, instrument cable. It has the same sort of plug as a speaker cable, but the difference is this kind of cable doesn't carry power, and it's really, really important to understand the difference between these, because you don't want to plug a powered cord into an instrument. That would not be a good thing. So when you plug this in, you can just manage the sound through this channel, and you'll have different ways to adjust volume and whatnot. And so you've got your main volume, you've got your monitor volume, you've got your individual channel volume, you've got also, you can control volume with, like on the actual keyboard. And so there are many different ways to adjust the volume with this instrument. And while we're back here, this is actually where you would attach the instrument cable on the other side. And so this is a mono connection. So that is how you do it. So when you plug it in, the really important feature is to make sure that the phantom power is on. If the phantom power is off, like this, it is not going to work. So I'm going to indicate that right now. Let's see. So right now, the sound is only coming through the speaker that is on the keyboard. Okay, so it's important for phantom power to be on, which is right now. So it's coming through all of our speakers. Let's make it bigger. Anyway, okay, so now we're going to deal with some sound adjusting issues. Let's say we have a microphone.
Check, check. That is too hot. So the first thing that we're going to do is look at our volume.
So we can adjust that individual channel slider, okay?
But let's say that we still have issues.
Well, the reason for this might be with the gain. So if the gain is really high,
It might lead to feedback. You hear that ringing sound?
so the gain can make a microphone louder, but it can also lead to feedback. And so we can adjust the gain. Now, if we were to turn the gain all the way down for this particular channel, these are also done by the channel, see, all the way down. Test, 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 test. Oh no, no sound is coming out. So let's check this again. Move it up just a little bit. Check, 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 check. I have not adjusted the volume here. Let's try this again. Check, 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 check. A little bit more sounds coming through. Check, 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 check. See, I have not touched the slider. So see how the gain can affect things.
Check, check. Check, check. Check, check.
Yep, that's the feedback sound that we were looking for. So gain is a really important thing in trying to balance your sound.
Check, check.
That sounds just about right. So there we are on our lesson on gain and feedback. If one of the speaker cables, microphone cables, or instrument cables decides to just be on the fritz, not work, or whatever, before you throw it away or replace it, go to a music store and see if it is covered under warranty. The way that you can tell like brands and stuff, these cables usually have like, you know, the names on the side. So like this one is made by Livewire. And so that is actually a Guitar Center brand. It's actually a really good brand. We bought high-end cables. So this should be covered. If anything should happen to it, it should be covered by a warranty. So that would be taken to Guitar Center. Ben Jacks is no longer a business, so I'm not really sure what you would be able to do with that. But it's just a good idea before spending money to see if things can be remedied without that. If you're in the situation where you actually need longer microphone cables, you can actually connect them together at the connectors. And we have tons of microphone cables, and so this is a way to just make everything all work out. The owner's manuals for our electric piano can actually be found in the piano bench. And I'm also going to have that on the Google Drive, hopefully in the server as well, in case you need an electronic copy.